Hello, everyone. Doing something a little bit different and coming to you very early because I want to go do a few things this evening. So, coming to you early with Travel the World as a speaker. I hope you are doing well. And on this episode, this Friday episode, the first day that is not cold and snowy here, we're going to talk about pitch 5 gigs a week as a marketing strategy. So, I hope you're excited about this just to give you something to think about on a Friday, and definitely coming way earlier than normal. But you know what? I got a few things that I need to do this evening, like buy groceries, all that adulting stuff. Now, I typically give you a travel story, and this week we've been talking about the RV. I am an RV owner, and I should tell you who I am. I am your host, Phylecia Jones, and you're watching Travel the World as a speaker. And this week, I've been talking about my RV and how I've been able to travel and speak while being in the RV. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun just talking about the ups and downs now of RV life, running around finding bandwidth so that you can go live. But I will say, one of the things that has been nice about the RV is quite a few of my speaking gigs from 2019. I was able to take the RV and go and speak. I even got lucky. One of my speaking gigs was in walking distance of where the RV park was, so it was pretty cool. Down in Austin, Texas, and then also in Portland, Maine. And I will say the nice part about having the comforts of your own home. I was able to bring the dog, the cat, and the husband with me, but being able to go home and cook after an event was really nice, and being able to stay at the hotel for as long as I needed to, but not having to go out and try to do all the other things when it comes to hotel life and dealing with hotel life. So that's been the really nice part about the RV. It's just being comfortable in your own space, that you don't have to worry about somebody coming in trying to clean it every day, moving your stuff around, unless you live with one of those persons. But I really like RV life. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on into this topic. Hopefully, if you got any more questions about RV life, just let me know. I will be sure to have an answer for you. This show is brought to you by iFind You Close. So if you are in the market for speaking gigs and you need speaking gigs to market your business, I want you to come check us out at ifindyouclose.com. Every Monday, we send out 5 speaking opportunities just so that you can piece through, start applying, start pitching so that you can get on stage to market your business. That is the biggest thing. We want you to have another piece of marketing so that you can keep getting out there, which leads into today where we're going to talk about pitching 5 gigs a week as a marketing strategy, because amazingly enough, iFind You Close gives you 5 different speaking opportunities to pitch every week. And I want to talk about why you should pitch 5 times a week. And it's going to be a little bit around the theory of how iFind You Close was built, but it really is for you. Now, what I have found being a coach, a consultant, and somebody who is running a full-time business, speaking is amazing. Speaking is so much fun. Everybody wants to do the arenas. Everybody has those big dreams. But the reality is, if you're not a professional speaker, you still have to service your clients. You still have to show up. You still have meetings. You still have networking. You still have families. You still have a life. And either you have to make a decision if you're going to just put speaking as a part of your business, or is speaking the business. Because if speaking is the business, you're pitching more than 5 times a week. You're pitching probably close to 100 or 200 times a week. This whole thing about speaking is about lead generation. You have to get out there and generate these leads. Now, one of the things we've done over here in iFind You Close is that we kind of help you out with the 5, because the reason we started with 5 is, as someone who is a coach, consultant, running a business, you may not have time to do that amount of speaking. Your time speaking is to be in front of the right audience so that you can convert, or your trainings or whatever you're trying to do. So that's why I highly recommend, when you sit down, pitch 5 a week, because one, it keeps you in the groove. It keeps you in the groove of understanding that these speaking gigs, they're not just going to land in your lap. You actually got to go out and work for them. So that's why you want to stay in this groove of 5 a week, because it's a mental state of selling, is that we got to get in front of people in order to sell whatever it is that we're trying to sell. And selling as a speaker is selling you to get on stage in front of that audience based on your expertise, based on your credibility, based on your knowledge, based on whatever it is that you talk about. So that's why we talk about 5 times a week. And that's what I want you to realize, is that in order to get speaking gigs, you have to be on top of it. A lot of us think that if we build a website, call ourselves a speaker, that this is all going to magically happen. It really doesn't. You're going to have to put in a lot of work. A lot of work. Even if you're not a full-time professional speaker, you have to put in this work to get in front of the people on a regular basis. It's all about lead generation. And we've talked about this on the show. It's all about you being a salesperson. I know a lot of us, we get into business, we get into speaking, and we refuse to call ourselves a salesperson. But at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You are a salesperson. Your only job is to go out and sell yourself to somebody, an audience, an event host, a speaker coordinator, and convince them that you are the right person to get in front of their audience, to bring that transformation, and to make sure that you show up and be the best person that you can be. That's why you have to always keep pitching. And if you're not pitching, you are missing out on opportunities to get on stage. So if you're not a professional speaker and you're using speaking as marketing, or you want to travel the world and you don't have to go to all of the speaking gigs, just do something as simple as 5 a week. That's it. Reach out to 5 events every week. At the end of the month, you have reached out to 20. You are constantly increasing your chances of getting in front of somebody. And not everybody's going to say yes, that's okay. Because just say if you got all 20, when are you going to do all of these at the same time each year? So that's why you have to keep getting in front of people on a regular basis. And then once you do this, after 20, when you look up in a few months, that's 6 months, now you've pitched 120. In a year, you've pitched 240. That is doing a lot better than most people who are hoping and wishing that they can get on stage. So if you want to travel the world, if you want to grow your business or grow your brand, this is something that you're going to have to do. You can't just do it whenever you feel like it and then keep expecting big time results. You can't do that. A lot of people are like, well, I reached out one time this like 5 years ago. And now I'm still expecting to, be at the Taj Mahal talking in front of 3,000 people. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I don't know if you can speak at the Taj Mahal, but it really doesn't work that way. You have to keep doing it. Keep increasing your chances, keep increasing your odds to get yes. And if you are trying to become an international speaker, if you're trying to travel in all of these places, guess what? It all comes back to credibility. We talked about that earlier this week. It's all about credibility. You cannot build credibility if you haven't been in front of people, giving your knowledge or sharing whatever it is that you do when you're on stage. So this is something that you're going to have to incorporate into your life. Just because you spoke it, just because you put it out there into the world. I'm all about the manifesting. Just because you put it out there doesn't mean they will magically come, unless you got some amazing story that somebody tripped up on. But most of us don't. I'm just being honest. Most of us are just regular old everyday folks. So you're going to have to stay in front of this. And if you are a professional speaker, 5 is just like bare minimum. You're going to have to do a lot more than that. So this is just a few tips so that you will understand that when it comes to getting speaking gigs, getting on stage, it's all about you marketing yourself and doing a lot of the outbound marketing so that you can get in front of people. One of my coaches told me years ago, your only job at this point is to wake up and ask yourself, who needs to know my name today? And if no one knows your name, you're not going to get close to your goals. You're not going to get close to traveling the world. You got to sit down and make sure people know who you are and make sure you're just waving in their face every day so that you can get closer to where you want to go. Now, of course, if you got any questions around any of this, all you got to do is pop them in the comment box. I will be here today answering questions if you have any. I'll be here tomorrow as well because we're doing this every day with our new schedule, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. And so we are rounding into week 2, and then we're going to take a 1-week break. So I hope this is helpful. And of course, I want you to get on more stages, travel the world, and do all the amazing things. But remember, it takes a little bit of work. and very little magic. Take care of yourself.